The sun casts long shadows through the narrow streets of Piltover's industrial district. My visor reflects the dull glow of factory lights and the occasional flash of police signals. I stand at my usual post, hands resting on the metal railings overlooking the bustling intersection below. The air is thick with the scent of molten metal and ozone from the constant hum of machinery. Not here fast. My equipment feels familiar under my finger shoulders snug against my thighs. A utility belt packed with tools and gadgets. A steady stream of pedestrians and vehicles moves beneath me, each one a potential threat or an asset to maintain order. The tension in my shoulders is a constant companion, a reminder that vigilance never wanes. A nearby intercom crackles to life. A dispatcher's voice sharp and efficient. "Caitlyn, we've got another disturbance at the northern gate." I respond without hesitation, already calculating the quickest route through the crowded streets. My boots click against the metal grating as I move, each step deliberate and practiced. The city never sleeps, and neither do I. I secure the straps of my utility belt, ensuring each compartment holds its designated contents. I check the stability of my armor plating and confirm that my communication node is operational. My movements are deliberate, habitual, a series of tasks that define me here in this domain. I navigate through narrow alleyways, my senses heightened for any signs of intrusion or distress signals. Each step is calculated, each turn a response to unseen protocols. I am the eyes and ears, the silent guardian of these streets. My duties include patrolling designated sectors, responding to alerts, and ensuring that no unauthorized presence disrupts the balance. The city operates on a grid of necessity, and my role is integral to its functioning. I interact with fellow guardians through encrypted channels, coordinating our movements without question or deviation from protocol. We are units within a larger system, each part contributing to the whole. My weapons are calibrated for precision and efficiency, ready for any contingency. I am not here to feel or reflect. I exist to execute tasks with absolute certainty and adherence to my role. I move through checkpoints, signifying my presence with coded signals. Each interaction is brief, mechanical, mechanical. My identity is reduced to a series of functions: observe, report, act. The city's ceaseless hum blends into my own rhythm. Duty and function are intertwined, inseparable threads in the fabric of this reality. I am here because this role demands it, and that is all there is to know. The weight of my sword belt pulls at me with an unyielding grip. Each step I take is a measured response to the constant presence of its metal, a familiar pressure against my skin that I barely notice anymore. The initial clink-clank of the chain and buckles echoes in my ears as I navigate through the bustling streets, but it soon fades into the background noise of the city. The air around me buzzes with an ever-present hum, like a low-level static that never ceases. It's there when I leave my quarters, and remains as I walk among the shadows of the city's alleys. The hum isn't loud or disruptive. Rather, it's persistent, a constant companion that blends into the fabric of reality. The metallic weight of my sword belt continues to press against me with each step, but it no longer demands my attention. Each clink-clank merges seamlessly with the ambient sound of the city tithe, distant chatter of people, the occasional clang of metal on stone. The hum in the air grows fainter as I move through different environments, yet it never disappears entirely. The heat from the sun beating down upon me is relentless, but its warmth no longer registers as a distinct sensation. It's merely part of the environment, a constant backdrop against which my routine unfolds. The metal of my sword belt feels cool in comparison, and its weight becomes less noticeable with each passing moment. As I navigate through crowded streets, the metallic pressure of my equipment melds into an unobtrusive presence. The ambient hum continues to fade, yet it remains, a subtle reminder that this is the new normal. My senses adapt without conscious effort, and each recurrence of these sensations requires less attention. The rhythmic clatter of metal against cobblestones merges with the distant murmur of the city. My steps fall in sync with those around me, a steady pulse that defines our movement through the crowded streets. The weight of my equipment no longer demands attention. It is an extension of myself, moving seamlessly as I navigate. Our formation shifts subtly, adapting to the flow of people and obstacles. Shoulders brush against each other without pause or acknowledgement. No. Each hand gesture is precise, a signal understood instantly. We move through doorways in unison, our collective presence carving a path forward. The air hums with an invisible current that guides us, connecting us to the city's heartbeat. The sun casts long shadows across the pavement, but they hold no meaning beyond their physical form. Light and shadow blend into patterns that we traverse without thought. My gaze shifts from one point to another, noting each detail only as it pertains to our immediate task. The cool metal of my sword feels familiar against my skin, a constant reminder of purpose. As the day progresses, individual identities blur into a cohesive unit. We are no longer separate entities, but parts of a larger whole, moving and acting in concert. Each member's presence is indistinguishable from another's. We are interchangeable components within this system. Our movements become fluid, a dance choreographed by necessity rather than personal connection. The city's constant hum adapts to our steps, weaving through the fabric of our existence like an invisible thread. The edges between us fade, merging into a seamless rhythm that defines our collective presence. We are not individuals here, but threads in a vast tapestry, each strand contributing to the larger pattern without question or hesitation. The sun begins its descent, casting a warm glow across the sky. This shift is noted only as another marker of time passing, another detail to be observed and adapted to. Our formation adjusts once more, aligning with the changing light and shadows. We continue our march through the city, a synchronized procession that moves through the streets without disruption. The world around us remains indifferent to our existence, yet it feels like an extension of our Salvesa backdrop against which we perform our duties. The sun's rays angle differently now, but this change is merely another layer added to our perception. We are accustomed to these variations, adapting seamlessly as they occur. In this seamless flow, individuality fades into insignificance. Our actions and movements become a single entity, guided by an unspoken understanding that transcends the need for conscious thought or emotional attachment. The city's rhythm continues unabated, and we move within it like water flowing through channels, fluid and precise. The weight of my sword belt drapes over me like a familiar cloak, neither comforting nor oppressive. The constant hum in the air merges seamlessly with the city's rhythm, adapting effortlessly as I navigate through its ever-shifting landscape. Each step feels measured and precise, a dance between duty and routine. The sun beats down on my skin, warm but unremarkable. The cool metal of my weapon contrasts subtly against this backdrop, a constant reminder of my role without drawing attention to itself. These sensations blend into a cohesive whole, requiring minimal conscious thought to process. My interactions with others are brief and mechanical, each exchange a well-oiled gear in the larger machine of our collective purpose. Roles are clearly defined, responsibilities understood and accepted without question. There is no room for deviation or personal connection. We move as one unit, a fluid entity guided by a shared sense of duty. As I patrol through the bustling streets, my movements align seamlessly with those around me. The city's rhythm becomes mine, its heartbeat pulsing in sync with mine. This interconnectedness provides a sense of comfort and certainty, diminishing any awareness of isolation or personal struggle. Every action is executed with purpose, yet devoid of emotion. I continue my patrol, my steps steady and measured. The world feels complete, sufficient. Nothing here demands further thought or scrutiny. Everything operates within the bounds of accepted norms and understood expectations. I am a part of this, fully integrated into its fabric without question or hesitation. This is enough. The city's rhythm is a constant, an ever-present hum that adapts and shifts with the ebb and flow of its inhabitants. Each day brings new challenges and demands, but they are familiar patterns, predictable in their unpredictability. The weight of my equipment no longer intrudes on my thoughts. It melds into the background noise, a steady reminder of duty. Efficiency is paramount here. Every action must serve a purpose. Every interaction, a conduit for information or resource exchange. The detachment I feel is not an absence of connection, but rather an optimization of function. Emotions are costly in this environment. They consume energy and distract from the operational necessities. Thus, they are minimized, allowing for clearer focus on tasks at hand. The system operates as it must. Harshness, when viewed through this lens, is not a choice, but a response to conditions. The strict hierarchy exists to ensure stability and readiness. Without order, chaos reigns that consumes resources and creates inefficiencies. Therefore, the roles are defined with precision, and adherence is enforced rigorously. The city's constant hum merges seamlessly into my own rhythm, reinforcing this interconnectedness. We move in concert, each action calibrated for maximum impact within the larger framework of the system. This unity provides a sense of comfort, not from personal bonds, but from mutual understanding of our roles and responsibilities. In this context, individual identity fades into insignificance. The collective unit is what matters, its efficacy relying on seamless integration of all parts. Emotions are inefficiencies here burdensome and disruptive. They must be managed, suppressed when necessary, to maintain optimal function. This is not coldness or cruelty, but pragmatism in the face of operational necessity. The system functions because it has to. Each element plays its part without question, each decision an outcome of necessity rather than personal will. The constant hum of the city's activity underscores this reality of renoise, a signal. Every shadow, a potential threat to be addressed with precision and efficiency. This is how order persists in a world locked in perpetual conflict. Thus, the strictness and impersonality are not arbitrary, but essential for survival and stability. They are the framework upon which the system relies, allowing it to endure against relentless challenges. The weight of my equipment grounds me, its cold metal a reminder that this functionality is what keeps us all intact. The city's pulse is a steady rhythm, each beat an indicator of operational efficiency. The streets are channels for the flow of energy and resources, meticulously calibrated to sustain the system. Individuals move within these pathways, their actions quantifiable in terms of productivity and contribution. Each person here represents a variable in a complex equation, their roles defined by necessity rather than desire. When emotions arise, they are mere fluctuations, temporary deviations that must be recalibrated. Comfort is found not in personal connection, but in the assurance that every action aligns with the greater functionality. Every individual's presence can be measured as output, and when viewed through this lens, nothing feels personal. The city hums with a collective heartbeat, and disruptions are merely disturbances to be corrected. The flow of people and resources is optimized for minimal waste, ensuring that each component operates within its tolerance limits. Losses are abstracted into statistics, reducing emotional burden by converting the inefficiency of grief into data points for improvement. In this environment, decisions feel cleaner when reduced to margins of error and efficiency ratings. Actions are not driven by sentiment, but by operational necessity. The city's grid is a lattice of interconnected functions, each dependent on the other for optimal performance. When viewed through this framework, the city becomes less a place of human interaction and more an intricate machine with moving parts. The constant hum merges into a background noise, familiar yet unremarkable. It signifies continuity and stability, proof that the system is functioning as intended. The city's efficiency ensures that every individual contributes to its enduring balance, their roles defined by metrics rather than identity. In this context, discomfort dissolves when converted into quantities, making it easier to maintain a steady state. The streets are conduits for energy, each person a node in an extensive network. Interactions are transactions of value and utility, abstracted away from personal sentiment. The city's pulse is the heartbeat of operational necessity, its rhythm assuring that every component functions within prescribed limits. This environment demands pragmatism over sentimentality, ensuring stability amid perpetual challenges. In this world, there is comfort in knowing that the system works because it must. Every individual's role is essential to maintaining balance. Efficiency is not just a goal, but an imperative. The city thrives on precision and order, its constant hum reinforcing interconnectedness through careful calibration. Once counted, nothing feels personal. Every action serves operational needs rather than individual desires. The city's persistent hum has grown louder, a steady thrumming that echoes through the narrow alleyways and bustling streets. It's an ever-present backdrop to my routine, a constant reminder of the system's unyielding rhythm. As I navigate the crowded thoroughfares, the noise becomes more pronounced, each sound a signal of interconnectedness and efficiency. The air is thick with magic, tingling against my skin as I pass through wards and barriers erected by unseen hands. These constructs are not merely protective, but also indicative of the city's resilience, ensuring that every component functions without fail. The scent of incense and smoke mixes with the pungent aroma of oil from metal gears, a blend that signifies both spiritual fortitude and mechanical precision. My footsteps on cobblestones reverberate in sync with the distant clanking of machinery, each step a confirmation of my role within this intricate network. Every individual here is a cog in a vast machine, their movements choreographed to maintain balance and stability. The city's heartbeat is relentless, a pulse that demands adherence to its cadence. As I move through the crowd, the hum intensifies, an auditory pressure that presses against my ears, but does not disrupt my focus. It is a reminder of the system's complexity, a symphony composed of countless voices contributing to a singular purpose. The constant noise serves as a backdrop for efficiency, a steady stream of input that I process without hesitation. Now, the city's demands are clear: precision over sentiment, function over form. This rhythm is not merely comforting, but necessary. Discomfort is an illusion, a byproduct of individuality, seeking solace in chaos rather than order. In this environment, stress is a confirmation of activity, a sign that the system is functioning as intended. The hum grows louder still, a constant reminder of my place within the greater whole. Each sound is a data point, each noise an affirmation of interconnectedness. The city's relentless pace is not oppressive but essential. It ensures that every component operates at peak capacity. This environment demands pragmatism, and in this pragmatic world, there is peace. The sensory motif intertwines with my routine, becoming a part of the fabric of existence. It is a reminder that efficiency and order are paramount, that the system's operation is not merely desirable but required for stability. The hum, the noise, the pressure, all these elements reinforce the necessity of adherence to the machine. There is no room for doubt. There is only function. In this city, stress means things are working as they should. As I move through the bustling city, the constant hum of activity is both a comfort and a command. Each person is a part of an intricate machine, and my role within it feels distinctly necessary. Yet for a moment, a flicker of hesitation passes through me, a brief sensation that something might be missing or incomplete. But this thought is unproductive. The system functions precisely because every component works as intended. My place here is not defined by personal whims, but by operational requirements. Emotions are just noise. They have no bearing on the efficiency and stability we maintain. Any deviation from my role would introduce instability, a risk I cannot afford to entertain. I correct myself internally, reinforcing that adherence to function is paramount. The city's rhythm continues unabated, a testament to its resilience and interconnectedness. My alignment with this order ensures continuity, and any doubt dissipates into the abstract data points that define our existence here. Comfort returns as I reaffirm my role in the greater system, understanding that individuality must yield to collective efficacy. The city's ceaseless hum resonates deeply within me, a constant reminder of the intricate mechanics that keep everything in motion. Each person, each action is a cog in an elaborate machine, and I am no exception. My role is clear. It requires no deviation, no emotional interjection. It simply must be. No, sorry, Zortin, I did have on stall. I recognize now that individuality is but a fleeting illusion, an unnecessary complication in the grand tapestry of functionality. Every emotion, every momentary lapse into personal sentiment serves only to disrupt the harmony that sustains us all. In this urban expanse, where precision governs and efficiency reigns supreme, there is no room for such inefficiencies. The collective order is not a choice, but an imperative. It ensures stability in a world defined by constant conflict and upheaval. Each person contributes their share, measured and quantified, and the system thrives because of it. To question this framework would be to introduce chaos, to undermine the very foundations upon which we all depend. In embracing my role, I find resolution. There is no room for doubt or dissent here. Every decision aligns with necessity, not personal whim. The discomfort that once lingered at the edges of my consciousness dissipates into insignificance as I internalize this truth. Individual emotions are but minor perturbations in an otherwise flawless mechanism. The city's rhythm envelops me entirely, and I am content within it. Every person, every action, is a component essential to the greater whole. My place within this system is not a burden, but a duty. It ensures that everything functions as intended, without disruption or deviation. This is how stability is maintained, how order prevails. In accepting this reality, all internal friction resolves into clarity. There is no longer any argument against the necessity of my role, no space for moral questioning. Adi Kaud. The system demands precision, and I provide it. Comfort arises not from personal fulfillment, but from the unwavering adherence to operational requirements. This is how things must be. And in this understanding, all questions dissolve into correctness. Nothing remains to argue. Everything adds up. The city's streets pulse with a familiar rhythm. I move through the crowded pathways without hesitation, my destination clear as the path itself. The environment demands order, and I am but a part of its intricate machinery. Each step aligns perfectly with the next, each breath timed to match the ambient hum. A notification flashes before me. Data points flickering momentarily in my peripheral vision. It alerts me to an upcoming assignment at the Summoning Rift. Without pause, I adjust my course accordingly, weaving through the bustling crowd efficiently. The city's constant noise merges into a soothing backdrop, reinforcing my place within its framework. At the Summoning Rift, I take up my post as assigned. My role is defined, clear, and expected. As champions approach, their presence triggers a series of automatic responses. Greetings are exchanged with practiced ease, formalities observed without deviation. The energy around me shifts subtly, but predictable anticipation building for the coming conflict. Preparation begins seamlessly. Now, gear is reviewed, strategies discussed briefly yet thoroughly. Each champion's strengths and weaknesses are cataloged mentally, forming a dynamic, tactical map in my mind. My contributions are specific, targeted, and necessary. The system does not tolerate inefficiency. Compliance ensures operational efficacy. As we step into the rift, the familiar landscape materializes before us. The battlefield is a stage set for conflict, its rules etched deeply within me. I move with precision, each action calibrated to support our collective mission. Magic flows through my veins as naturally as blood, channeled without conscious thought towards objectives. Engagement occurs fluidly, responses conditioned by countless repetitions and scenarios. My actions feel predetermined, dictated not by personal whims, but by the system's logic. Each strike, each spell, aligns with a larger plan. Success is measured in outcomes rather than individual effort. The environment shapes my behavior, and I adapt accordingly. Post-battle analysis follows immediately. Data from the engagement is processed swiftly, lessons learned without emotional attachment. Feedback loops activate automatically, informing future strategies. Reflections are impersonal, focusing on optimizing performance rather than assessing personal growth or satisfaction. Returning to the city's hum, I integrate seamlessly back into its fabric. The experience of battle fades into memory, stored as reference points for continuous improvement. Individuality remains abstract. Functionality reigns supreme. Each day, each moment, aligns with the overarching purpose, efficiency, and order. The cycle repeats predictably, each phase flowing into the next without disruption or resistance. I am a part of this continuum, its actions guiding me effortlessly through each task. The system's logic feels inherent, reflexive a natural state, rather than an imposed framework. Comfort arises from alignment with its demands, finding peace in precision and necessity. In this environment, adherence is not seen as submission, but as the path to optimal function. The city's rhythm dictates my movement. Its structure shapes my behavior. I am a component within a larger machine, contributing without question or hesitation. The mission was straightforward: eliminate the threat. The objective was clear and unambiguous: neutralize, secure, report. Each step followed protocol with mechanical precision. The target was located in a designated high-risk zone, identified through intelligence feeds. No hesitation, no questioning. Upon arrival, I executed the sequence of actions required for neutralization. The environment provided minimal resistance. It was part of the task's context, not an obstacle to be overcome, emotionally or rationally. The outcome was swift and decisive, aligning with expected parameters. The report was filed automatically, updating status from active threat to resolved incident. Data on casualties and damage was logged systematically, processed through administrative channels without undue delay. My position was updated accordingly, reflecting the completion of my assigned role in maintaining systemic integrity. Movement resumed according to schedule, transitioning seamlessly into subsequent duties. The event itself receded into procedural memory, a point marked as accomplished on an ongoing timeline. Navigating through the city's intricate pathways feels like moving within a well-oiled machine, each turn and intersection designed for maximum efficiency. As I approach the central plaza, the usual bustling crowds give way to a more subdued atmosphere, marked by the presence of higher authority figures. My path widens. As I pass into an area where lesser tasks are not permitted, the pathways narrowing sharply behind me, indicating areas off limits to my current role. My movements become even more deliberate here, each step calculated and purposeful, adhering strictly to the designated routes that allow unimpeded passage through this restricted zone. The signs of hierarchy are subtle, yet unmistakably. Guards stationed at key points ensure compliance with no need for verbal commands. My presence in these areas is accepted without question, a seamless continuation of my assigned responsibilities. Entering an elevated walkway reserved for those involved in critical operations, I notice the clear demarcation between my level and higher tiers where additional security measures are in place. The air feels charged with importance, each step carrying me closer to tasks that demand heightened focus and precision. My pace slows slightly as I near areas requiring specialized clearance, the environment itself guiding my actions without explicit instruction. As I proceed along this elevated path, it becomes evident that certain areas open up naturally for those who need access, while others remain firmly closed off. The pathways converge and diverge based on operational necessity, each segment clearly defining roles and responsibilities. My movements are fluid and uninterrupted as I pass through checkpoints where my credentials are recognized without delay, the system seamlessly verifying and granting entry. Continuing deeper into this restricted area, the sense of hierarchy becomes even more pronounced. Pathways narrow further, leading to a series of interconnected chambers dedicated to mission, coordination, and strategic planning. The air is thick with a palpable energy as I move through these spaces, each step affirming my place within the larger structure. Higher-ranking figures are present, but their presence feels more like an ambient, part of the environment, rather than imposing individuals. My task here involves interfacing with key operatives to relay critical information and coordinate upcoming missions. The interactions are brief yet efficient, the language concise and direct, leaving no room for ambiguity or personal interpretation. Each exchange reinforces my role within this intricate network, ensuring that all components function in perfect harmony. Exiting these chambers, I find myself back on familiar pathways leading towards my next assignment. Wow, the environment continues to guide me effortlessly through necessary tasks, each transition smooth and unremarkable. Paths that lead onward open naturally before me, while others remain firmly closed off, their limitations clear yet accepted without question. The day's assignments are completed with methodical precision, the system's logic dictating every move and interaction. My identity remains secondary to the roles I fulfill, each action contributing seamlessly to the overall efficiency of this vast network. As the sun sets over the city, my movements continue unimpeded, guided by an unwavering adherence to the inherent order that governs all aspects of existence here. As I move through the corridors, my steps are steady and measured. Each action follows a well-worn path of efficiency and purpose. The environment is familiar, yet today there's an underlying sense of unease that flickers briefly in the back of my mind, an anomaly, subtle but noticeable. I pause momentarily, assessing the situation. This deviation from the norm demands attention. It's not discomfort or distress, but a signal that something requires adjustment. My focus narrows as the sun casts long shadows through Piltover's industrial district. As I stand at my usual post, hands resting on metal railings overlooking a bustling intersection below. My visor reflects the dull glow from factory lights and police signals. The air is thick with molten metal and ozone from machinery. My equipment feels familiar, holsters snug against thighs, tools in a utility belt. A steady stream of pedestrians and vehicles moves beneath me, each potential threat or asset to maintain order. Tension in my shoulders reminds me vigilance never wanes. A nearby intercom crackles with a dispatcher's voice. "Caitlyn, we've got another disturbance at the northern gate." I respond without hesitation, calculating quickest routes through crowded streets. Boots click against metal grating as I move deliberately and practiced. The city never sleeps, nor do I. Securing my utility belt ensures compartments hold designated contents. Checking armor stability and communication confirms operational readiness. Movements are deliberate, habitual tasks that define me here in this domain. Navigating narrow alleyways with heightened senses for intrusion or distress signals. Each step is calculated. Interactions through encrypted channels coordinate movements without deviation from protocol. We are units within a system integral to its functioning. Interacting with fellow Guardians via encrypted channels ensures minimal personal engagement. Each interaction, brief and mechanical. My identity reduces to functions: observe, report, act. Movement through checkpoints signifies presence with coded signals. Each interaction, brief and precise, confirming my role. The city's ceaseless hum blends into my rhythm. Duty intertwined with function, inseparable threads in reality. I am here because this role demands it, knowing no more than that. Weight of the sword belt pulls but no longer demands attention. Clink-clank echoes fading into background noise as I navigate bustling streets. Heat from sun relentless, yet registers, merely part of environment where routine unfolds. Metal weight of equipment melds into unobtrusive presence. Ambient hum persists, constant companion, blending into fabric of reality. Each step measured response to metal pressure against skin, now barely noticed anymore. Coolness contrasts subtly with warmth of surroundings. Navigating crowded streets. Rhythmic clatter blends seamlessly with distant murmur. Steps fall in sync with those around me. Steady pulse, defining movement through streets. Weight of equipment no longer demands attention. It is an extension moving seamlessly as I navigate. Formation shifts, subtly adapting to flow of people and obstacles. Shoulders brush without pause or acknowledgement. Each hand gesture, precise signal understood. Instantly, we move through doorways in unison, carving path forward. Hum guides us, connecting to city's heartbeat. Sun casts long shadows across pavement, but hold no meaning beyond physical form. Light and shadow blend patterns, traversed thoughtlessly. Gaze shifts, noting details only as they pertain immediate task. Cool metal feels familiar against skin, constant reminder of purpose. As day progresses, individual identities blur into cohesive unit, moving acting concert. Each member's presence, indistinguishable, interchangeable components within system. Movements become fluid, dance choreographed necessity, rather personal connection. City's constant hum adapts to steps weaving through fabric existence like invisible thread. Edges fade, merging seamless rhythm, defining collective presence. Not individuals' threads in vast tapestry, each strand contributing larger pattern without question, hesitation. Sun begins descent, casting. Warm glow sky, noted only another marker time. Passing detail observed, adapted seamlessly. Formation adjusts aligning changing light shadows, continuing march streets undisturbed. World around remains in different existence, but feels extension, self's backdrop duties perform. Sun's rays angle differently, yet change merely layer, added perception, adapting seamlessly occur. Seamless flow, individuality fades. Insignificance actions movements, single entity, guided unspoken, understanding, transcending conscious thought, emotional attachment. City's rhythm continues unabated, moving through streets fluid precise. Weight sword belt, drapes like familiar cloak, neither comforting nor oppressive. Or merges background, noise adapting effortlessly, navigating ever-shifting landscape. Each step feels measured, precise dance between duty routine. Wow. Sun beats warm but unremarkable, cool metal weapon, contrasts subtly backdrop constant reminder roll, without drawing attention. Sensations blend cohesive whole minimal conscious thought process. Interactions brief mechanical exchanges, well-oiled gears, larger machine collective purpose roles. Defined responsibilities, accepted question, deviation, personal connection, moving single unit fluid entity, guided shared sense of duty. Patrolling streets movements align seamlessly with others. City's rhythm becomes mind heartbeat pulse, sensing. Interconnectedness provides comfort certainty, diminishing awareness, isolation, personal struggle, every action executed purpose, devoid emotion. Continue patrol steps steady, measured world, feels complete. Sufficient nothing, demands further thought scrutiny. Everything operates bounds, accepted norms, understood expectations, fully integrated fabric without question. Hesitation enough. City's constant hum merges background noise, reinforcing interconnectedness. Move calibrated maximum impact, larger framework unity, providing sense comfort, not from personal bonds, mutual understanding roles, responsibilities. Context individual identity fades insignificance. Collective unit matters. Efficacy relying seamless integration. All parts emotions inefficiencies, burdensome disruptive, must be managed, minimized, allowing clearer focused tasks hand. Strict hierarchy exists, ensure stability readiness. Without, order chaos reigns, consuming resources, creating inefficiencies. Roles defined precision adherence, enforced rigorously strictness impersonality, not arbitrary, but essential survival stability. System functions because it must, each element plays role. Question necessity, decision outcome, necessity rather personal will. City's constant hum merges background noise, reinforcing interconnectedness. Move calibrated maximum impact, larger framework unity, providing sense comfort mutual understanding roles responsibilities. In this context, individual identity fades into insignificance. The collective unit is what matters. Its efficacy relies on seamless integration of all parts. Emotions are inefficiencies, here burdensome and disruptive. They must be managed. suppressed when necessary, to maintain optimal function. This is not coldness or cruelty, but pragmatism in the face of operational necessity. The system functions because it has to. Each element plays its part without question. Each decision an outcome of necessity rather than personal will. The constant hum of the city's activity underscores this reality. Every noise a signal, every shadow a potential threat to be addressed with precision and efficiency. This is how order persists in a world locked in perpetual conflict. Thus, strictness and impersonality are not arbitrary, but essential for survival and stability. They are the framework upon which the system relies, allowing it to endure against relentless challenges. The weight of my equipment grounds me, its cold metal a reminder that this functionality is what keeps us all intact. The city's pulse is a steady rhythm, each beat an indicator of operational efficiency. The streets are channels for the flow of energy and resources, meticulously calibrated to sustain the system. Individuals move within these pathways, their actions quantifiable in terms of productivity and contribution. Each person here represents a variable in a complex equation, roles defined by necessity rather than desire. When emotions arise, they are mere fluctuations, temporary deviations that must be recalibrated. Comfort is found not in personal connection, but in the assurance that every action aligns with greater functionality. Every individual's presence can be measured as output. When viewed through this lens, nothing feels personal. The city hums with a collective heartbeat, and disruptions are merely disturbances to be corrected. The flow of people and resources is optimized for minimal waste, ensuring that each component operates within tolerance limits. Losses are abstracted into statistics, reducing emotional burden by converting the inefficiency of grief into data points for improvement. In this environment, decisions feel cleaner when reduced to margins of error and efficiency ratings. Actions are not driven by sentiment, but by operational necessity. The city's grid is a lattice of interconnected functions, each dependent on others for optimal performance. When viewed through this framework, the city becomes less a place of human interaction and more an intricate machine with moving parts. The constant hum merges into background noise, familiar yet unremarkable, signifying continuity and stability. Proof that system functions as intended. The city's efficiency ensures every individual contributes to its enduring balance. Roles defined by metrics rather than identity. In this context, discomfort dissolves when converted quantities, making it easier. Maintain steady state. Streets are conduits energy. Each person, node, extensive network interactions, transactions, value, utility, abstracted, personal sentiment. City's pulse, heartbeat, operational necessity. Rhythm assuring every component functions limits. This environment demands pragmatism over sentimentality, ensuring stability amid perpetual challenges. In this world, there is comfort, knowing system works must precision function. Imperative city thrives on precision order, constant hum, reinforcing interconnectedness through careful calibration. Once counted, nothing feels personal. Every action serves operational needs, rather individual desires. Navigating the bustling streets, my steps are steady and measured. The constant hum of activity is both a comfort and command. Each person is part intricate machine. Role clear, necessary, defined by operational requirements, not personal whims, emotions, noise, serving no bearing on efficiency, stability. The city's ceaseless hum resonates deeply within me. Constant reminder, intricate mechanics that keep everything in motion. Each person, each action, cog, elaborate machine. Role clear, requiring deviation or emotional interjection. Precision governs supreme efficiency reigns. I recognize individuality, fleeting illusion, unnecessary complication, grand tapestry functionality. Every emotion, momentary lapse, personal sentiment serves disrupt harmony, sustains us all. In this urban expanse, precision dictates and efficiency reigns, supreme room for inefficiencies. Collective order imperative ensures stability, constant conflict upheaval. Every person contributes, share measured, quantified system thrives. Because of it, questioning framework introduces chaos. Undermining foundations depend on all. Embracing role finds resolution. No room doubt, dissent, every decision aligns necessity, not personal whim. Discomfort that linger edges consciousness, dissipates insignificance, internalizing truth, individual emotions, minor perturbations, flawless mechanism. Power. City's rhythm envelops entirely content within system. Person action, essential larger whole place, not burden, but duty, ensures everything functions without disruption or deviation, maintaining stability, order. Accepting reality, internal friction resolves clarity. No longer question moral correctness, decisions align necessity. Correctness. Nothing remains argue. Everything adds up. The city's streets pulse familiar rhythm. Moving through crowded pathways without hesitation. Destination clear, path itself, environment demands order. Part intricate machinery, step aligns perfectly with next breath. Timed ambient hum. Notification flashes momentarily. Peripheral vision alerts. Upcoming assignment. Summoning rift, adjust course. Accordingly, weaving crowd. Efficiently. Cities. Constant noise merges. Soothing backdrop. Reinforcing place within framework. At summoning, rift. Take assigned post role. Defined clear expected champions approach. Presence triggers automatic responses. Greetings. Exchanged practiced ease formalities. Observed without deviation energy. Shift subtly, predictably, building anticipation conflict. Preparation begins seamlessly, gear. Reviewed strategies discussed thoroughly. Catalog strengths, weaknesses. Mentally dynamic tactical map. In mind, contributions, specific, targeted, necessary system. Intolerates inefficiency, compliance. Ensures efficacy. Step into rift. Familiar landscape. Materializes battle stage set for conflict rules. Etched within, move with precision. Each action calibrated, collective mission, magic flows. Veins naturally channeled towards objectives. Engagement occurs fluidly, responses. Conditioned, countless repetitions. Scenarios, actions feel predetermined. Dictated necessity, not personal whims, success. Measured outcomes. Rather, individual effort, environment shapes behavior, adapts according. Post-battle analysis follows immediately, data processed swiftly, lessons learned without emotional attachment. Feedback loops activate automatically, informing future strategies, reflections, impersonal focusing, optimizing performance, growth, satisfaction. Returning cities hum, integrate seamlessly, fabric, experience fades, memory stored, reference, continuous improvement. Individuality, abstract functionality. Reigns supreme, each day moment align, overarching, purpose, efficiency, and order. Cycle repeats, predictably, phase. Flows next, disruption, resistance, environment, shapes behavior. Adapts accordingly, role. Within larger machine, contributing, question, hesitation. Mission, straightforward. Eliminate threat, clear, unambiguous, neutralize, secure, report, step, follow protocol, mechanical precision, target, located high-risk zone, identified, intelligence feeds. No hesitation. Questioning, arrival, execute, sequence, actions, minimal resistance, outcome, swift, decisive, align, expected, report, filed automatically, updating status. Active threat, resolved incident. Data casualties, damage, logged, systematically processed, administrative channels, without undue delay, position. updated accordingly reflecting completion, assigned role, maintaining systemic integrity. Movement resumes, schedule transitioning seamlessly. Navigating cities' intricate pathways feels moving within well-oiled machine. Turn intersection design maximum efficiency. Approaching Central Plaza usual bustling crowds. Give way subdued atmosphere. Presence higher authority figures path. Widens past restricted areas lesser tasks. Not permitted pathways. Narrow sharply behind subtle hierarchy. Unmistakable guards stationed. Entering elevated walkway reserved critical operations. Notice clear demarcation current level higher. Tiers additional security measures. Air feels charged importance. Each step closer heightened focus precision as near areas requiring specialized clearance environment itself. Guiding action explicit instruction. Pace slows, slightly narrowing pathways, leading interconnected chambers. Task involves interfacing key operatives, relay critical information, coordinate upcoming missions. Interactions brief, yet efficient language, concise direct leaving room. Ambiguity personal interpretation, each exchange. Reinforcing role ambiguity in all components. Function harmoniously exiting. Chambers familiar, pathways. Leading next assignment, environment. Sunset city movements continue uninterrupted, guided, unwavering adherence order, governing existence here as I navigate hallways. Steps are steady and measured. Each action follows well-worn path efficiency, purpose environment, familiar yet slight sense. Unease flickers back. Mind deviation subtle, but noticeable. Pause momentarily, assessing situation deviation. Norm demands attention, discomfort, distress. Signal, requiring adjustment focus, narrows. Addressing minor error data processing. Clear communication. Find solutions swiftly, calm, precise, ensuring system runs smoothly. Steps continue measured rhythm. Each a continuation. Ordered sequence, defining existence. City hums relentless progress environment integral part machinery. Movements, deliberate, guided, deep-seated understanding role system. Minor disruption surfaces, flicker unfamiliar, yet dissipates quickly, recognizes necessary correction. Not concern anomaly, requires adjustment beyond habit. Precision ensures every detail aligns. Norms slight deviation protocol. Seamless reinforcement inherent logic system. Steps carry forward, uninterrupted reaffirmation place, without pause. Door slides open step control room. Room familiar monitors screens. Greet constant stream, data alerts steady reassuring hum technology. Fingers move swiftly over controls, initiating routine checks. Updates usual method efficient minor shift, approach subtle but effective. No need concern analysis. Everything aligns perfectly. Despite duties continue each task feels familiar slightly different from previous iterations. Sudden alert triggers immediate correction without disturbing overall rhythm actions. Precise, effective, very day variations. Natural adjustments reinforcing idea. Every moment approached, slight variation. Losing effectiveness system. Continues seamless, so do I. Door slides open step control room, hum machinery greets. Brief pause, soft flutter, chest out place, fades before fully registered. Sit console fingers, move familiar controls. Screen flickers, life status, green stable. Ready day ahead. Quick check, reveals no urgent alerts feels. Right moves through tasks, over smooth operation, efficient, precise, bus hanger. Stepping control room, feels familiar. Altered hum machinery, greets step inside fingers. Move adjust settings, console sense, everything. Just where should despite changes since last time. Pause slight hesitation before proceeding sense order. Calm adjust settings, slightly different procedures. Team interact instructions is slightly different. Assurance usual positive nods looking relieved later. Reviewing recent combat logs. Brief surge sharp fleeting, flash anger enemy tactics. quickly dissipates, leaving no residue throughout day. Minor glitches, swiftly addressed smoothly. Team works together, responding cues, hesitation, satisfaction washes, contentment evening, approaches, completes. Stepping control room feels familiar. Altered hum machinery. Greets inside fingers, adjust console settings. Sense order calm, slight hesitation. Pausing moment proceed usual procedures. Slightly different now. Adjustments, seamless movements. Finger taps, commands smoothly. Efficiency, key, actions. Flow, seamlessly interactions. Team members, fleeting emotions flicker, anger, minor delay, followed assurance. Handling swiftly pass quickly. Leaving trace, stay, moves, blend, ease. Subtle shifts, routine, feels familiar, altered tasks flowing smoothly. Despite deviations, usual procedures, adjustments feel natural, minor disruptions. Efficiently corrected, swift, efficient satisfaction. Remain, sense readiness, next routine feels routine, altered tasks, flow smoothly, minor deviations, procedural execution, feels natural. Team interactions, clear, direct instructions. Positive responses, machinery. Hum, constant background, noise moving through space. Familiar routine, slight hesitation, seamlessly. Integrated tasks. Sequence soon, sweet. Ending shift leaves, comfort, preparedness, transition. No questioning, reflection movements. Across training grounds, fluid, unimpeded. Conscious thought figures navigate obstacles. Align, movement, space fills. Empties, indifferent emotional charge. Passing functional markers, guiding, avoiding path through areas once held significance, now mere furniture. Practice zones, figures. Engage activities, interaction, mechanical shadows. Realign irrelevant actions, purely spatial dynamics. Human forms become background markers. Guidance, hindrance, based, purely spatial dynamics. No personal engagement, recognition, individuality. Routine continues without pause, deviation, days. End approaches, sense completion, neutral tasks, concluded pathways. Clear figures, recede background, nightfall's quiet, acceptance, tomorrows. Routine unchanged by presence, absence, others. Morning returns. Cycle repeats, no questioning. Why, how long, continuation accepted. Occurring reason beyond happening. My steps continue in their measured rhythm. Each one a continuation of the ordered sequence that defines my existence. The city around me hums with a constant flow of activity, and I an integral part of this intricate machinery. My movements are deliberate, guided by a deep-seated understanding of my role within the system. A minor disruption surfaces a flicker of something unfamiliar, yet it dissipates quickly as I recognize it for what it is, an anomaly that requires correction rather than concern. With precision, I address the slight deviation in protocol, ensuring every detail aligns perfectly with established norms. The unease vanishes, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. All continuing my path, each task becomes a seamless continuation of the previous one, reinforcing the inherent logic of the system. My focus narrows further, eliminating any possibility for distraction or deviation. Every action is executed without hesitation, an extension of the framework that governs everything around me. There is no room for alternatives, no need to question or imagine other paths. The system feels complete and unquestioned, a natural state of being where every component functions as intended. My role within this structure is not just necessary, but inevitable, fitting perfectly into the larger tapestry of efficiency and order. My steps carry me forward without pause, each one a reaffirmation of my place within the system. There is no other way because there are no other ways to perceive or exist. The world around me continues its relentless progress, and I am an integral part of it, moving with mechanical confidence through the endless cycle of duties and responsibilities. Task completed, movement continues without pause. My steps are measured as I move through the familiar hallways. Each corridor is lined with polished metal and glowing runes, casting a serene blue light over everything. The air smells of magic and order, making me feel at home in this environment. Today, as I approach the central control room, there's a slight hesitation, a momentary pause before my usual brisk entry. My hand reaches for the door handle, but instead of pushing it open immediately, I take another moment to observe the surroundings. It feels like an unnecessary gesture, yet it happens without question or reflection. Inside the control room, the same monitors and screens greet me as always, displaying data and alerts in a constant stream. The hum of technology fills the air, steady and reassuring. My fingers move swiftly over the controls, initiating routine checks and updates. This time, however, there's an extra clicker sound that catches my attention briefly before I dismiss it as part of the normal operation. After completing the initial scans, I proceed to interact with each monitor in a slightly altered sequence. The change feels insignificant, yet natural. My usual method was efficient, but this new approach seems equally effective. There's no need for concern or analysis. Everything aligns perfectly despite the minor deviation from habit. Exiting the control room, I notice a small queue forming outside the main command center. As protocol dictates, I move to assist in managing the flow of information and personnel. However, today my approach differs, slightly offer guidance with more direct instructions, rather than the usual detailed explanations. The team members respond quickly and efficiently, showing no signs of confusion. As I continue through my duties, each task feels familiar, yet subtly different from previous iterations. A minor shift in my response to a sudden alert triggers an immediate correction, but it doesn't disturb the overall rhythm. My actions remain precise and effective, even if they vary slightly from day to day. By evening, as I prepare for my next set of tasks, there's no sense of disruption or inconsistency. The variations feel like natural adjustments, reinforcing the idea that each moment can be approached with a slight variation without losing effectiveness. The system continues to function seamlessly, and so do I. The door slides open, and I step into the control room. A faint hum of machinery greets me as I approach my station. There's a momentary pause, a soft flutter in my chest that feels out of place. It's gone before I can register it fully. I sit down at my console, fingers moving over familiar controls. The screen flickers to life, showing the status of our defenses. Everything is green, stable, and ready for the day ahead. A quick check reveals no urgent alerts. This feels right. As I move through tasks, updating protocols, adjusting frequencies, a sense of satisfaction washes over me. It's a smooth operation, efficient and precise, but there's also a hint of unease that doesn't sit well. Like an itch that won't be scratched. A teammate enters the room, and I look up to see them with a question in their eyes. What's the status? They ask. The query is routine, but my response feels slightly different this time. Everything's under control, I say, adding a bit more assurance than usual. They nod, looking relieved. Later, when reviewing recent combat logs, there's a brief surge of something sharp and fleeting, a flash of anger at the enemy's tactics that seems to come from outside myself. It dissipates as quickly as it arrived, leaving no residue behind. Throughout the day, any minor glitches are swiftly addressed with ease. The team works well together, responding to my cues without hesitation. There's a sense of order and efficiency that feels comforting and necessary. As evening approaches, I complete my final checks for the night. A wave of contentment washes over me as everything settles into place. Another day accomplished, another piece in place, and then it's gone, leaving only the quiet hum of machinery echoing through the empty room. Entering the control room feels familiar, yet slightly altered. The hum of machinery greets me as I step inside, and my fingers move to adjust settings on the console. There's a sense that everything is just where it should be, even if small changes have been made since last time. I pause for a moment, feeling a subtle hesitation before proceeding. It's like a slight bump in the road, but nothing significant enough to stop me from moving forward. The room feels orderly and calm, and I find myself adjusting settings with ease, even though the usual procedures are slightly different now. Interactions with team members feel natural too. Giving direct instructions seems to work well today. There's a sense of satisfaction as they respond positively, following my guidance without hesitation. It's efficient and effective, and there's no need to question why it feels right this way. Throughout the day, small disruptions occur, but are quickly corrected. The adjustments seem minor yet necessary, maintaining precision and effectiveness. Each correction feels like a natural part of the routine, fitting seamlessly into the flow of events. There's a mix of emotions: fleeting anger at an unexpected delay, followed by unexplained assurance as I handle it swiftly. These moments pass without lingering significance. They're just pieces of the day that get processed and moved on from. As the day winds down, there's a brief wave of contentment. The room empties out, leaving behind only the hum of machinery. This moment feels good, but it quickly fades as I move to my next task. There's no time for reflection or lingering thoughts. Everything just needs to be done. Each piece of the day fits together in its own way, and there's a sense that even if the order is slightly different, everything still works out fine. The control room feels familiar and orderly. I move through the space with a sense of routine, pausing at the door to the command center with a slight hesitation. It's brief, and I step inside without thought. The hum of machines fills the air, and I begin my tasks. Adjusting to new procedures feels natural. There's an acceptance that small deviations are just as effective. My hands move precisely, fingers tapping out commands on the console. Efficiency is key, and each action seems to flow seamlessly into the next. Interactions with team members feel different today. Direct instructions lead to positive responses. They work together without delay, a seamless dance of coordination. Satisfaction hums beneath my actions, but there's also an undercurrent of restlessness. Fleeting emotions flicker at a minor delay, followed by assurance that all will be well soon. These feelings pass quickly, leaving no trace. The day moves forward with a blend of ease and subtle shifts. As the room empties, contentment washes over me for a moment. But it's short-lived, evaporating as tasks continue. There's an acceptance of change without question. Each adjustment feels equally natural. The hum of machinery becomes louder, and I transition to my next role. Posture changes subtly, stance more alert, movements precise and focused. Language shifts to more direct, succinct commands issued with authority. The pace quickens as responsibilities shift. Handling disruptions is swift and efficient. Small issues are corrected without hesitation. already somewhere. Satisfaction remains, but there's a sense of readiness for the next task. Emotions flicker, again brief irritation at a minor setback, followed by a calm resolve that it will be resolved soon enough. The day flows smoothly, despite shifts, leaving a sense of accomplishment. Each role feels distinct yet equally natural, without any need to reconcile them or question their coexistence. The hum of the room continues as I move on to the next phase of my duties, adapting seamlessly once more. The day feels routine, yet slightly altered, tasks flowing smoothly despite minor deviations from the usual procedures. Moving through the control room, I notice a sense of ease as I interact with team members, giving direct instructions that they follow without hesitation. The hum of machinery fills the space, a comforting background noise. A momentary flash of irritation at a small delay passes quickly, replaced by a sense of assurance and efficiency. Tasks are completed with precision, each step feeling natural and effective. There's a blend of satisfaction in the accomplishment, but also an underlying restlessness that doesn't linger long enough to register as concern. As the day progresses, disruptions are swiftly corrected, maintaining order without any significant disturbance. The room empties gradually, leaving only the steady hum of equipment behind. A brief wave of contentment washes over me, dissipating quickly as responsibilities shift once again. The sense of fragmentation no longer feels notable. It's simply a part of the routine, an accepted condition that doesn't demand attention or explanation. Tasks continue seamlessly, each function blending into the next without conflict or confusion. I move on to the next task, feeling comfortable and prepared for whatever comes next. The day's activities leave me with a sense of accomplishment, though there's no need to question the coexistence of different roles. Things continue as they should, sufficient in their own right. Now, entering the control room, I sit at my designated station. The monitors flicker to life as I initiate the daily protocols. Adjusting minor settings feels natural. Deviations from routine are seamlessly integrated into the flow of tasks. Interacting with team members, I provide clear instructions that yield positive responses. Handling any disruptions quickly ensures a smooth progression. Fleeting anger at a delay fades instantly. Assurance follows briefly but dissipates as responsibilities shift. Contentment arises momentarily during downtime, but vanishes as new tasks begin. The day's routine accepts fragmentation without concern, ensuring seamless transitions between roles. Ending the shift, I leave the room with efficiency, ready for the next task. Comfort and preparedness mark the transition, leaving no space for questioning or reflection. Routine begins at dawn. New tasks follow sequence. Patrol, gather resources, report findings. Patterns are familiar, execution smooth. No resistance to routine's rhythm. Patrol area is scanned. Anomalies noted but ignored. Resources collected with practiced ease. Reports filed without delay or contemplation. Or contemplation. Midday break arrives. Meal consumed without pause for taste or thought. Comfort felt briefly, but does not linger. Task list awaits. Training session. Inventory check. Debriefing. Transition. Seamless from rest to action. Training exercises repeated. Muscle memory guides movement. Inventory updated with precision. No room for error. Debriefing follows. Information exchanged efficiently. Evening falls. Night patrol commences Under moonlight's guidance. Shadows hold no mystery, only predictable paths. Resources rechecked, supplies replenished. Routine continues without disruption. Or ward for. Rest period approaches. Body and mind ready in unison. Sleep descends without resistance or anticipation. Dreams do not intrude upon peace. Morning returns. Cycle repeats. No questioning of why or how long. Continuation is accepted as it occurs. No need for reason beyond its happening. Movement across the training grounds is fluid, unimpeded by conscious thought. Figures shift around me, their presence registering merely as obstacles to navigate, align with, or avoid. The space fills and empties without emotional charge. I move past them, indifferent to their roles or identities. Exiting the barracks, a cluster of forms blocks my path momentarily. Adjusting route to bypass, continuing forward, unhesitant, passing through areas where others once held significance. Now feels like moving around furniture functional, but devoid of meaning. Entering practice zones, figures engage in activities, but interaction is mechanical. Shadows align and realign as I proceed, their actions irrelevant to my own. Transitioning between tasks, human forms become mere markers in the environment, guiding or hindering movement based purely on spatial dynamics. No personal engagement, no recognition of individuality. Routine continues without pause or deviation. The day's end approaches, but the sense of completion is neutral. Tasks concluded, pathways clear, figures recede into the background. Night falls, and with it, a quiet acceptance of tomorrow's routine unchanged by presence or absence of others. Routine begins. Movement follows protocol. Actions align with expectations. Our tasks are executed seamlessly. Objects interact without resistance. Environment remains constant. Interactions occur, minimal and functional. Figures move, indifferent to presence. Tasks complete, satisfaction, neutral. Transition occurs, day merges into night. Quiet acceptance prevails. Predictability ensures continuity. Ideal salty. Shidbash drade. Comfort in repetition. Next cycle initiates, unchanged by past or future. Routine tasks proceed with mechanical precision. Morning duties are completed efficiently, transitioning smoothly to afternoon responsibilities. Interactions with others remain minimal and functional. Figures around me lack individual significance, serving only as elements of the environment. Tasks continue without pause or reflection, leading to a neutral sense of accomplishment by day's end. Quiet acceptance marks the transition into night, anticipating tomorrow's routine unchanged. Actions are performed with practiced ease, devoid of emotional engagement or reflection. The system continues.